What does that need to be for?
We always
Yeah,
Google
no,
the
I'm not
instructions.
worried about that. He has control of that. We just want to get the game clock. What the hell? Just one button. See, that's the story of my life.
It's gonna be a running clock. Just tell everybody.
That's all it's gonna be.
Well, just tell everybody, look at your watch right now. Let's all decide and agree what's the time of day. Well, it's such and such 04. All right. Well, the clock's gonna run 14 minutes. 24 minutes. So 24 minutes from now. And really, the straw that stirs the drink, Mr. Raymond Williams, RC Photographic, we're back on the air. Pine, I can't really say anything about them except just total dominance of the first half. What do you think, Raymond?
That's exactly right. Independence's offense, they may have 2 first downs in a game, plus maybe 1 more by penalty. They've had number 4, Bean, has been their offense. What little they've had, they've had several penalties. They've had some high snaps, punts, high snaps in regular offense, and then high snaps on punts that went over head.
And look,
1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Now, they got their hands on 1 or 2 and blocked 1 punt. That's a style of play that Coach Brad, or special team coach, smelled blood in the water. Because you don't send 4 of them every time. They got the sense that, hey, they are vulnerable when they in punting formation, and he's sending them.
Another thing about the Raiders, they've been efficient. Probably the only, I don't want to say bad thing, but only negative is the Raiders have had several penalties. One of them that basically killed a drive. And but other than that, a few penalties here and there, which it is just the second game of the season, but they've been very efficient on offense. They've handled Independence's offense. The Raiders' defense has. They're a good-looking team right now, and it's just a game 2. It's just week 2. So
I said on offense they have so many playmakers, but I'm gonna tell you right now, on defense, I think they have 11 playmakers.
They've got some playmakers. They got some good, solid tacklers. They got some fast guys.
We hadn't even mentioned
big guys.
Thomas Bernard yet. He's a junior. He's number 2. They've got him at 6'1", but whatever. He looks like Randy Moss as far against the other high school kids. And I don't think he's had a catch. They've got people in reserve that are exceptional. It's hard to get the ball around to all of them. And then you have number 44, Ethan Rawls. Number 5, Ethan Rester, 44, Ethan Rawls, that are what I just call maxed out great high school football players. Maximum energy.
Luke Spears' stats at halftime. He's 5 completions for 10 attempts, 148 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Here we go.
One of those interceptions was probably more or less a good punt. Raiders bring out the kickoff across the 45 to the 46.
Yeah. Well, see, that's Thomas Bernard's first time to touch the ball tonight. That's who I was talking about.
Right on
And,
cue.
and look, he returned it to the 50. I mean, he's a very talented ball carrier. But Pine's got so many weapons until.
See what the Raiders do. Probably not going to do much different. They may run the ball a little more. Single receiver split wide to the left in a wing T formation. Hand it off to the first man left side.
That's old Vaughn Johnson.
Johnson. Gain of 7.
See, he's a junior. So, I mean, Bradley's doing a great job of attracting kids to play football, and he's got some great looking kids. You know, as a Franklin Demon, I'll never say that somebody else is the class of Washington Parish, but Pine is really, their program has really been good.
And
They beat a meet.
Vaughn Johnson coming off the field under his own power, but with a noticeable limp. But Christian Williams comes in his spot.
He's got a game leg. I think that's the official.
He'll be back. 2nd down and 3 for the Raiders. Luke Spears under center. He puts a man in motion, gives it to him. That's 28 coming on the right side. He's got a first down to the 37-yard line, 36.
Number 28, Aiden McIntosh.
Aiden McIntosh is
First down for the Raiders. Aiden McIntosh, gain of 11.
Y'all know that's
He's a senior. 6 feet, 195, but man, he reminds me of who's number 28? Andrew played for Minnesota. Adrian Peterson. Yeah, he was a big back, had power and speed or whatever. I mean, he's not Adrian Peterson, but he's the Pine High School version.
Single receiver to the right side this time. Spears under center, puts number 8 in motion, gives it to Christian Williams. Cuts it back right side. Near another first down at the
Oh!
And I believe they're going to call
They peeled it.
Now he puts out.
They peeled it out of there, man.
First down Raiders. Gain of 12.
All right. Yeah. What'd they call there, Damon?
For progress was stopped.
No.
Apparently.
Okay. Well, the Tigers intended to try to pull that ball out of there, and they did. They did a great job. I mean, fantastic run by Christian, but he let them get that ball away at the end.
Wing T formation again. One receiver to the right side. Spears under center. And he gives it to Christian Williams, and they were all over that play. They were on top of that one.
Yeah, they expected that one somehow.
I missed that. Did he not throw the fumble flag? Forward progress was stopped. Okay.
42-0, of course, on Live Action Network. Damon, something that takes pressure off of us. The scores on the screen at all times.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
people watching, listening at home.
If I still say it, it's because I'm just in that habit.
Oh, and it's
I
good
gotta
to
stay
say
in
it.
the habit.
Well, it's good to say it.
Well, yeah.
You
Spears,
know.
handoff, 8 going far side. He's got the corner. He's got another first down. Puts a move on 1, and he goes out of bounds after an 18-yard run. That's James Owen.
Number 8, you wrong for that. James
He
Owen
shook that dude out of
moving
the
the
shoe.
chains for another Raider.
That's James Buck Owens.
It'll be first and goal for the Raiders. Looks like about the 9-yard line. James Owens checking out of the game now.
Last week, we were listening to the broadcast the next Saturday morning. Me and Crockett, Major.
Here, hands off right side. Number 10, and he's in for the touchdown. Number 10 is going to be
DJ Garrett. And the Major said, he sounds like the guy that barks for the Himalaya fair. And so then I started mocking that guy. I'll do a good impression of it.
I used to could do a good one here. But now, though, Himalaya dude got it on a tape or something. You walk by it and you hear them, they say the same thing over and over.
Yeah, man, we all stood there, man. It was the place to stand around. At least for a while. When, Bogalusa kids were over there on the other side. We listened, me and Dykes listened to it. We started trying to mock that feller. We came up with pretty good. Right. Go. You're running the Himalaya. Who wants to go backwards? As you're exiting the ride, be sure not to slide. Hurt your little backside. Thank you for riding the Himalaya.
In the old heat and humidity timeout currently, we do have a running clock because the Raiders have eclipsed the 42-point mark. Now they're at 49 points, but there'll be a running clock, but you still got to take the heat and humidity timeout at the 6-minute mark.
Band or somebody needs to
during the month of September.
I need to be playing music right now. It's dead, man. Come on, turn on some music. It ain't this quiet in Sunday school, preacher.
The scoreboard doesn't reflect the proper score. It is 49-0.
Yeah, it's 42-0 coming out of halftime.
Next week, Jeff, Pine probably will get their first test, or at least a little bit of a test next week. Pine traveling to Pearl River to take on the Rebels. Rebels,
they're the Rebels.
Some inexperience, but they're always a solid program.
Yeah.
So, and they don't have a new coach or anything like that. They've established what they got going on. So the Raiders may have just a little bit of a test next week, at least for a little bit. I fully expect the Raiders to handle the Rebels.
Yeah. I mean, the Rebels are almost, and I'm sure they do have the numbers to play 4A, but they're almost like a team that if they were in the right district or division or something, because Brent McGee and them have had great baseball teams year in and year out, but just not quite. And Pearl River has some really good teams, but as far as winning district, just not quite there, Right. But you're going to have trouble with Pearl River.
So you look for Pearl River and Pine. That should be a good game next week. In other action, Franklinton will be at home against Mountain Blue. And then you got Bogalusa will be at Salmon. That could be a good one. And Barnado, where's Barnado? North Lake Christian's going to be at Barnado next week. So
hey, it's worth talking about. Over the Labor Day weekend, Kyle at Waliaga got to come home for about 32 hours and had to turn around and go right back. But it was worth it to them because they hadn't seen him in, 12 weeks or so. Maybe not quite that long. But anyway, Maverick got to see him. And Mr. Charlie Fasola put several clips on Facebook of him, in controlled scrimmages and whatever. His closing speed is still there, even against that competition. I mean, they had him playing interior linebacker. He was wearing number 58, but then now this week he changed it to number 31.
Yeah, I believe he won't see action with the regular Army team.
No,
He's on basically the freshman team.
Right,
But
yeah.
hey, that just means he's getting good playing time, and I fully expect him to see him with a lot of playing time next season when he's on the regular Army team.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well, the
fully
team he's
expect that.
on, he looks great on there. And all the coaches and faculty are going to like him.
Oh, no doubt.
You
And
know,
the bean going right side, he twists around, but I'm not sure he got any yards on that carry.
I'm just proud. I'm going to a game with them. Some of these to the Army Navy game. Mr. Charles and
Well, Army's playing LSU during the fair at LSU.
yeah, I'm not.
But
But when college starts
won't be.
being on the varsity
That'll
roster,
be next season.
yeah. But we're just proud of college, man. You know, him and
Oh, yeah.
Maverick have been close friends, and he was a chubby little old guy in junior high. Now played center.
Boatwright
And,
taking the snap, looking to pass, got a receiver, and he overthrew it. But look, whenever you got a player that you pulled for and he went to your school and you see him on a college team and you get to watch him on TV, that's an excellent feeling.
Oh yeah.
I mean, all the Raiders fans here, the Raiders fans that's watching, but when they got to see Derek Dillon play for
Oh,
LSU,
yeah,
he
man.
played at the USFL team that he's on and all that's pride when you see
Oh
that guy.
yeah.
He wore that red and white for the Raiders. Hey, man, there's nothing like that.
How many times have I told somebody we got a quarterback out of the
Yeah, he
pocket?
got out of the pocket. He might have gained one on that run.
How many times have I told somebody that New Orleans or different places where I might be working? Yeah, Derek Dillon, man, he was on my baseball team and youth league football team. And yeah, he was. His dad, Earl, he comes fishing at my place. I've coached with Earl before. I know I'm good. And the reason I'm trying to impress everybody is because he's a Washington Parish celebrity.
Right. Tigers with 5 receivers, 3 on the left, 1 on the right. High snap. Gets you to have all first half. Boatwright gets off a pass. And it is finally.
Wow!
He's coming right side. He's out to the 35 or maybe the 30. And he's finally tackled.
Connor Caldwell. I think that's the first time, but I'm glad that we do have video because that was a fantastic interception.
It was. He
Concentrated on the ball and a good return. Connor Caldwell.
He's out at the 32 where the Raiders will play it up 1st and 10. Clock rolling at a minute left in the game.
And like not only is
I did say left in the game. It's a minute left in the 3rd quarter.
not only is Khalid playing football, you know, on a pretty high level, he's at West Point, which may be the most impressive part of all.
That is impressive. Single receiver left side. Luke Spears under center. And he's going to hand it off coming right side. And he has got a 6-yard, 7-yard gain maybe. Runs into the bench and actually turns it over.
And then I'm going to turn around and say this. Andre Calais, or little Andre Calais, he snapped against Mississippi State last Saturday.
He's at Southeastern.
He's at Southeastern, and he's not the starting snapper or whatever. On punts, there's guys like a senior, or junior, or whatever. But he's been impressive enough until when they scored the touchdown, little Andre snapped to the holder, and he did that the whole game. I said, hey, that shows that the coach knows who you are.
Yeah.
I mean, you've really made an impression.
We've reached the end of the third quarter, and the Raiders are up 49-0. Score from Bogalusa, Slidell up on Bogalusa, 27-12 at the end of the third.
Now,
quarter.
why were they and why were we here pushed to Thursday night? Weather?
I'm not sure about Bogalusa. I thought their game was scheduled for tomorrow night, but the Pine game has been scheduled for Thursday night for a long time. I talked to Coach Seal way back in July,
I got you.
and he said it was on Thursday night. I don't know why, but it's been scheduled. This one's been scheduled for Thursday night for a long time.
I'm going to tell you right now, if
Pine-
you wanted to increase your gate and kind of be the talk of the parish, have all your games on Thursday night because a lot of people are going to come.
I've been saying this for years, and I don't know how many times I said it on the air now, but I think at least one parish game should be on Thursday night every week.
Yeah,
Unless they're all out of town or something there, and you're the only one in town in the parish in a particular week, play it on Friday. But if you got two teams playing in the parish on a Friday, one of them ought to be on Thursday. You would increase your traffic. And the handoff is bobbled, and finally Luke Spears, the quarterback, falls on it for a loss.
that's Brady Ryle got a chance to get his hand on the ball. He's a freshman.
Got a lot of fresh players out there. Because like I went to the concession stand at halftime, and I noticed numerous Franklinton players down there. So
Yeah.
they all had to pay to get in.
Yeah,
So you increase your thing by having
yeah.
a game here or there. Maybe not all of them, but at least some of them.
And look, the guys on Pine's team knows. Hey, man, that's a bunch of Franklin guys down there.
Well, maybe not all of them, but a lot of the Pine players will be at a game tomorrow night somewhere.
Oh yeah,
Varnado or Bogalusa, not Bogalusa, but Varnado or Franklin or Bowling Green, they'll be somewhere.
oh yeah. It was a huge deal. Wasn't really much of a rivalry when I was in high school at all. But if sometimes we were playing at Franklin High School home game, and there was about 12 or 13 of the Bowling Green kids down there, Barry Bickham and some of them would be like, hey man, look, they here or whatever. And man, you really gonna show out that night.
Fourth down now for the Raiders. Punt team comes out.
It don't matter what team you're on at that time. A lot of times you were on the same team in Dixie baseball and association football,
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, you want to do good in front of them. That's your buds.
Looks to me like Independence only has 10 players. The 11th one comes on.
Wow,
Nice
man.
punt. Gonna roll down to just short of the 30-yard line.
Will Shook.
He touched it. It touched his foot, whatever, dude.
82, man. He is
First down in the Pendant.
He stepped.
82 is a big one, man. I mean, he carries himself like he's biggest one out there, Braylon Thomas. He's a freshman. All them other Thomases eat so much and so fast until he ain't getting none of the food.
You talking about Braylon?
Yeah,
Bama. I nicknamed him Bama in Little League.
yeah.
He's a Ha Clinton Dix fan.
Oh, okay.
He's Bama now.
Braylon Thomas. His name is henceforth and forward to be Bama.
Oh,
You can call it that.
You
Far side, number 3, gets a 3-yard run.
around the left side, picked up about 3.
know,
2.
getting a nickname a lot of times be good or bad. Some of these nicknames, you know the people by that name all their life.
Yeah, that's true.
But you really don't want to get a bad one.
No, you don't want a bad one.
Look.
If I go around certain circles, I say, hey, you seen Player?
Yeah.
They know who I'm talking about. I go to another certain circle, and I say, you seen Player? They say, who?
Yeah.
So yeah, you want a good nickname.
I remember Heather Ford. This is like 20 years ago, whatever. I saw her.
Boatwright tries to run the option, and he actually gained a good 4 yards. I don't think he ever really had an option to pitch. Third down, 4 for Tigers.
Had a lightning delay of something.
36.
7 minutes and
Yard
40
line or
seconds.
so.
left.
Clock rolling.
49-0.
7:40 left in the game.
I'm on
Got a
the
running
air.
clock.
Know what it sounds like to be out there on a third down on defense.
Due to the score. A new rule that was instituted last season, the 42-point mark. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Boatwright in shotgun, going to hand it off to number 0, going far side. He breaks a couple of tackles and has a forward progress, but I think he'll be a yard short on the first down.
I don't have a 0 on the roster.
Well, he's on independent.
Oh, my bad. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong team. No wonder. Damon, I want to commend both of us again. And any other commentators out there, Chris and Ardenberg, for not falling into the temptation to use the term, he uses his legs.
What else is he going to use?
I mean, it has just caught fire, and they all say it. Quarterback drops back, and on this play, he uses his legs to pick up 15 yards. I'm like, which play is it now that he don't use his legs? Whatever happened to scrambling or runs with the ball?
First down. And he options this time. The bean coming around the right side, picks up a block, cuts inside. He has the first down inside the 40. That's a nice little gain for the
Yeah.
Tigers, about 16 yards.
He's a weapon, man.
Bean, probably, from what we've seen, their best
Oh, yeah.
player.
Well, here's the thing. Oh, if he's, coachable, got a good attitude, whatever, unless he's some type of hard character or issue, Pine would love to have him.
Yeah, a lot of
Franklinton
teams
would love to have him. You put him in he's a threat on Independence team. You put him with a real team or whatever and getting him the ball creative ways, he's good.
Yeah, Independence, of course, they in a rebuilding phase. They got a brand new coach. Coach Sheffield retired after last season, after coaching at Independence for several years. And, spent some time as the head coach at Varnado and was the defensive coordinator at Kentwood for a really long time. But he retired, and now Independence has a brand new coach. So they're trying to get their program established and doing it the way the new coach wants to do. They'll have some growing pains.
Hey, another local you watched him play a few times, and then we had him interviewed one night, George Arata. He is on the roster at Tulane. And, you've heard that a million times about a lot of different kids. But I saw him in one of their games get 3 carries. It was toward the end of the game, whatever. But
he's got to be a freshman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But there's been plenty of times when I was in 10th grade and then Reg and them were up 42-0. He didn't say, get in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean,
the quarterback takes it up the middle, and he'll be probably a yard short of the first down.
And great kid, man. He makes Richie Cunningham look like Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, he seemed like a nice guy
Yeah.
when I interviewed him.
Yeah, I love his mom and dad. Ann and Bill.
Boatwright going to do another quarterback, basically just a quarterback push behind the center. Forward progress should have him with a first down.
Hey, the field's kind of getting a little bit dark or whatever. I mean, there's been a little water on the field.
It came a pretty good rain here in the area. I live not very far from here, so it came a pretty good little thunderstorm between 3 and 4 o'clock. My electricity was actually out for probably 2 hours.
Dang. I hate it when the electricity goes off.
Yeah, I didn't care for it either, but it was just a minor inconvenience.
Look, my nephew, Gentry McKelvin, he graduated from Franklinton. He works at WST. He's got a good job. He's a dispatcher.
Option that right to Bean.
Look
He's
at
gonna
here.
turn the corner, cuts back inside. He is going to score.
Yeah.
Say he did not step out of bounds. I wasn't sure if he had or not, but that's a 30-yard touchdown run by Bean. First name is spelled M-I-C-H-I, so I don't know if that's Mitchie or Mikey, but that's his name.
Micah, who knows? But I can tell you this, Pine's got probably 11 substitutes in the game, but it just shows if you take it down one notch, Mitchie Bean can beat you. You know, they can't beat or compete with Pine with him, the only
Go for
athlete.
two, the option right again. This time he is in again. Makes it 49-8.
Yeah, against the JV, he can do things like he did on that drive.
If they might have been running, I mean, I'm not gonna say they would have threatened Pine for this game, but if they had been running that option play a little earlier in the game, you know, it might be 49-16 or something.
Yeah.
I don't think after a few minutes into the game was ever going to be in doubt. But I don't know. It just seems like that option play has been working here in the fourth
Independence
quarter.
can.
And I know Raiders has got reserves in on defense.
Independence can compete in a lot of games, man. I think that's pretty much what you're saying. Oh,
Yeah, and when they're playing upper class tonight too. Pine, not one of your larger 3A schools, but they are a 3A school. Independence a 2A school. And when they get back into their district playing Springfield and those teams, they could be.
sometimes you're just outgunned. I mean, especially
Well, Pine's going to outgun a lot of teams this year.
yeah.
They really are. And they're going to upset some teams that ain't going to see them coming.
Yeah. When Maverick was at Bowling Green, it was easy to play somebody that had 75 players dressed out, and you've got 28, and probably of those, 12 of them are football players. You know what I'm saying? And you go, you just cannot beat them numbers-wise.
Pine is going to sneak up on some people, and I'd love to see the Pine A-Meet game and the Pine Bogalusa game. Those are going to be some excellent ball games.
Minute left in the game.
I think so too. The Raiders' offense is entertaining to watch, and the defense not going to let you down. It's easy to pull for a lot of those scrappers on defense. The two middle defensive linemen are exceptional. Their two ends are both tall and athletic. I'm going to tell you right now, Christian Williams is like very, very gifted. And on this defense, he's as good as anybody, but he's not a standout. And that you don't want that. I mean, I told somebody one time,
Raiders take the ball and kneel on it. That's Trey Knight. He kneels on the ball, and that's going to be the ball game.
that's going to be the end of it. But I told somebody one time I was on a softball team, I said, good news is I'm the best player on the team. Bad news is I'm the best player on the team. And I was in my mid-40s, you know. You always want to have some other ones around you that's better or just as good. But I enjoyed it, Damon. Man, did I enjoy it. Oh, maybe if something gets moved or whatever, I'll always get in touch with you first, brother.
I enjoyed it too, Jeff. Saw a really good football team here tonight in the Raiders. Like I said just a few minutes ago, they're going to sneak up on some people, and they're going to win a lot of football games. And I really, really would love to see the Pine Bogalusa game and the Pine A-Meet game. Not sure I will be able to, but I would love to.
I mean, you got Trey Knight. I see him walking across there, sophomore. I mean, he is strictly in reserve as far as using him as an offensive weapon, but he's probably one of the top 3 or 4 athletes on either team. You know, I mean, Pine's got depth, is what I want to say. But we enjoyed
They
it.
do.
You're on the Live Action Network. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with the Pine High football game. Thanks to RC Photographics and Raymond Williams for making this broadcast possible. For Damon Smith, I am Mr. Positive Jeff McKelvin, and we'll catch you next time. Go Raiders!
41-12, Slidell beat Mobile.
David
Oh, did he?
You know Christian Hens.
Yeah, I heard he was in bad shape. I don't know how to turn it off.
He died immediately, dude. He died behind Will's vehicle.
Oh, okay.
He's 54 years old.
Maybe that was somebody else I was thinking about.
Yeah, he's one of his daughters was a homecoming queen last year.
Yeah.
And then Emerson played baseball and stuff. And Christian is his old lady. Hangs out with Monica Valenti Smith all the time. But I knew him pretty good, man. He was a good guy. He was real quiet. And he's come here. Dude, I hate to hear that. He said he was going to get something to eat. He had a good job. He was a crane operator on those ports and stuff. I went down there and had a meeting with some of the people he knew.